So I figure I'll do a review of the Goosebumps movie. I did go see it yesterday, about Halloween time, so I figured why not? Might as well see a Halloween movie that stars Halloween decorations in essence. So, I can recall reading somewhere online that Goosebumps was popular partially because it broke the oldest book rule in the book, which was don't judge a book by its cover. Everybody judged Goosebumps books by their cover, and I'm going to say, yeah, it's probably true, because, let's be real, they were not paragons of great literature. They had a lot of fun parts, but they also had a lot of parts that made a lot of people roll their eyes. They had pretty repetitive characters. There were lots of instances of twins. There were a lot of people putting on the macho, you didn't scare me act, I was just pretending to be scared. There were a lot of instances with monsters framing people, that sort of thing. So I really do think a lot of people came just because of the fun covers. Those covers really were cool, seeing all those creative monsters rendered in really colorful illustrations. I think the guy's name was Jacobus, not sure. But I think I can recall that being the name that was signed on all the covers. And anyway, because of that, you'd figure that if they were going to make a Goosebumps movie as opposed to a bunch, then the best way to do it would have it star, in essence, the monsters being the main attraction. And when you hear the taglines about this movie, like all of the monsters of Goosebumps books have gotten loose and are on a rampage, you think that's exactly what they are doing and want to commend it. Well, I went to see the movie, and while there is some of that, it's underwhelming. It's not as many monsters as you think, and some of the choices of them is weird, and a lot of them don't get much screen time. So, I basically already told you what the plot is. Guy comes to Mountain, Delaware, meets R.L. Stein, who's using a pseudonym, meets his daughter. They meet this other kid who's weird and nerdy but funny. And they accidentally set the monsters loose. They set one of them loose, but it snowballed from there. And the film is about them trying to catch it. I almost said game, which I might as well have been. But anyway, yeah, as I put it up before, the monsters in this movie, there aren't that many of them. Those that are there, many of them don't get a lot of screen time, and some of the stuff they choose to give a lot of screen time to is really weird, too. So, for example, the first thing that gets out is the abominable snowman of Pasadena. And on the one hand, I like that they were pretty faithful to the part of the book where this monster isn't really a bad guy. He doesn't really have naturally aggressive urges. It's just when he's provoked that he gets really dangerous. So they held up that part well, but again, you can see a Yeti in a lot of movies. Then there's Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Again, lots of werewolves in movies. The biggest one is zombies. They go to a graveyard, zombies attack. It's not necessarily a bad scene, but you could see zombies attacking people in a graveyard in a lot of horror movies. You don't need to go to see a movie called Goosebumps to go see zombies, and you kind of wish you were seeing these like a giant hamster rampaging around instead. So yeah, there is no cuddles in this movie, at least not that I could see. Now, regarding the monsters that are unique and feel like icons of Goosebumps in this movie, I'll say this, I guess that this series is still going on today, so it's lasted from when I stopped reading it all the way up to now, and I would have stopped reading it like before I was, I don't know, 16. That's probably stretching it even. So I'll say that a lot of these monsters that showed up weren't nostalgic for me. I remember, of course, Slappy. I remember the Lawn Gnome. I remember the Abominable Snowman. I remember the werewolf. But then there's weird stuff that comes out that just is totally strange to me. Like, there's the bit where a poodle comes around, hovers, and attacks Was that supposed to be the barking ghost? Because I don't remember the barking ghost being described as being a poodle or hovering ever. So I'm going to assume that's one of those that was past my time. Then there's the haunted car. Don't remember any haunted car either. It does look disturbingly, or I won't say disturbingly, it looks deliberately, I think, like the villainous car for the movie The Car, which I have not seen, but I know of it. And I know what the car looks like. Then there's aliens coming in with laser beams that freeze people. There's robots that rampage. Well, there's a mantis, giant mantis wrapping around from a shocker on Shot Street. And I remember when I read that book, I was really pissed off that the mantis wasn't a big part of it. Because you see him featured prominently on the cover, rampaging around in the street. You think that's what the book's going to be about. He's a very little part of the book. He actually has a bigger part of this movie, so that's cool. I liked the mantis. Yeah, a lot of stuff is just weird. Now, talking about the effects of the monsters, they're a mixed bag, and you may have already heard the CGI in this movie isn't good. I don't think it's terrible. I've seen worse CGI all the time, but it doesn't. You can tell it is CGI. I'll put it that way. Now, the counterpoint to that is that the moments this movie uses practical effects, they're actually really, really good. Slappy, for example, is an actual ventriloquist dummy. He moves like an actual ventriloquist dummy. They probably use a puppeteer at some points in stop motion and some others. But the ones that stole the show for me were the lawn gnomes. And the reason is because I think, from what I can see, they are actual lawn gnomes. And they were animated, so far as I can see, just by substituting other lawn gnomes or adjusting little features one by one with stop motion animation. So they're really choppily animated, and they just sort of jump to new frames, and it looks corny, but it's cool. It's different. It's the sort of thing that you want to see as a breath of fresh air, something like the polar opposite of the zombie scene, which is cliche. Now, going into why there aren't that many more monsters, or they aren't prominently displayed, this movie actually has maybe a bit too much plot, I'd say, or rather it has a bit too much focus on its human characters. You got this guy, his mother, his nerdy friend, his potential girlfriend, his aunt, and then there's, of course, R.L. Stine, played by Jack Black. And it's not a bad plot, but it's obviously something that you've seen before in other kids' movies. But one thing I will say is that the supposedly teen protagonist in this movie, he does not look like a teenager at all. He looks like he's in his late 20s. And I mean, I know when you see sex comedies like American Pie, there's adults pretending to be teenagers, but this is the sort of thing that's more for the, I don't know, Disney Channel sitcom crowd. And this guy does not look like a teenager. The other students do. Like, the other ones that are in this movie, they're supposed to be high school teenagers. They do look like teenagers. This guy looks like an adult. Now, having said that there is too much focus on the human element of this movie, I will say that one upside to that is that Jack Black's take on R.L. Stine is really, really good. I didn't go to this movie to see Jack Black play R.L. Stine, but he does really well. He's constantly funny. He has this really nasally, shouty, irritable voice he puts on that's always making me laugh. And I think part of the reason it's impressive is because it's so against expectations. I mean, people have been thinking of Jack Black as the sort of hip man-child type guy who's on the level of people watching him, sometimes kids watching him, sometimes juvenile college stoner types watching him. And here he's playing this cranky, not so old, but old-seeming square guy, and he nails it. It's so funny to watch him be like, that sort of stuff. It really is a kick, and I think if I had to describe the single most well-done part of this movie, I think it would be Black's performance. It's really funny, it's endearingly cranky and eccentric, and from what I read of the actual Laurel Stein's interviews, he's not like that. He's making jokes all the time, he's goofing around, but this is fiction and it really works. It's really funny, and it even lets on that a lot of people don't think highly of his work and plays that for comedy. So, yeah, that bit's great. Does it save the movie? Well, I'll close by saying this. This is not a bad movie. It's just not a good enough movie. Because with a movie like this, where the lure is supposed to be monsters from books getting out and going on a rampage through town and somehow trying to survive it, less is never more. I'd always want to see more of this sort of thing. Unfortunately, I don't think there was enough of this movie to focus on all of the monsters. I think this is probably the sort of thing that, much like, say, The Flash, probably works better as a TV show. And I mean, Goosebumps was a TV show, but the episodes were adaptations of the books. So, this is a sort of Goosebumps All-Stars movie, but it's not All-Stars. There aren't enough bits, and a lot of the bits are glossed over. Now, would I want a sequel? Yeah, I think if they could improve on the basic concept, then it would be good to have a sequel. I don't know if I expect one, though. Should you go see this movie? If you're a real Jack Black fan, I would say, yeah, go see this movie. He's great in it. If you're Goosebumps fan of the 90s, I'd say maybe wait for it to come on the Discovery Family Network, formerly the Hub. I think there isn't enough nostalgia stoking for you to justify it. $10+ tickets. I will say, if you have to see one movie this weekend, and it's going to be the one that'll kill your childhood less, and the choices are this or Gem the movie, see this. I mean, I have not seen Gem and the Holograms. The concept doesn't interest me that much, but I have seen a fair amount of the cartoon just for cultural edification. I've seen the trailers for Gem and the Holograms, the movie. They look way off, and based on reviews, the trailers didn't lie. It is way off. It doesn't get what it's about. This movie does at least have some of what you want from a Goosebumps movie. Not enough, it has some. But, I mean, if you have to choose between seeing it in theaters and not seeing it in theaters, yeah, I'd say wait for it to come on TV, because it probably will. This is the sort of thing that you practically expect to come on TV as a Halloween special, or just like after a marathon of the haunting hours. So yeah, wait for this on TV, I'd say. If you're really interested in Black, go see it. If it's more of a 1990s Goosebumps thing, wait on it. That's my review.